My 11th finals were over and it was high time I changed my habits and approach towards studying. These were the 5 habits that I developed. Number 1 being meditation. I used Atom as well as Medito apps to help me out in this. Meditation really helped me to focus and made me understand that thoughts are like clouds. They are present every time and we have to live with that. Number 2, I kept track of the time that I spent studying. For this, I used an app called Focus Meter. My goal was to increase the time that I spent studying. It went from 6 hours to 8 and even clocking 10 hours in a day. Numero 3. Made a strict study schedule. This time, I made a daily schedule as well as monthly and weekly goals were set. I wrote them down in a piece of paper and I striked each box as they were completed. Number 4 being changing the methods that I use for studying. I started to use active recall as well as spaced repetition. These were high yielding techniques. These really helped me in my preparation and they also boosted my performance in grant tests. Finally, I detached myself from the institution's study schedule, made a timetable and completed it irrespective of what happened in the institution. Like if I were to complete 4 physics lessons that week, I would complete it irrespective of what was taken in the institution, even if it was chemistry or botany or zoology. It was the 12th of September. We arrived at the exam center at around 12:30. I had lunch in my car. The exam was around 2 to 5 p.m. and my whole family was waiting there for me. My mother believed in me and was constantly reciting mantras, praying for the next 3 hours. My sister was also there. She had high hopes and sent me off wishing me success. I got out of the car as my father wished me luck and entered the exam center's gate like I were to participate in a war to prove that I was capable of clearing NEET. And then I saw students walking back and forth searching for missed documents and photos, and I wish that wouldn't be the case for me. One can only dream of the ship sailing smooth, and yes, I got all those necessary documents and extra photos that the exam committee needed, thanks to my father. Went inside the exam hall and was all anxious. Took the exam, came out and jumped back in my car and done. The efforts I put in didn't go in vain. I knew that I did good. Well, I gave my best and left the rest. For the next 24 hours, I decided not to do anything related to the exam. Check the scores, missed questions, etc. Now, the waiting begins. The results usually showed up in a month, but this time it didn't happen. The person, whoever was in charge, didn't want to show any mercy on this poor child. Finally, after a long waiting, the day of doom arrived. I was anxious and went to the website, refreshed it a million times, and finally the results showed up. These were the results that I expected. Now, I was confident that I would make it into a medical college. Again, I had to wait for months to get the allotment order to know which college I got selected into. Who knew that NEET not only questions your subject knowledge, but also your patience. Last, there were messages that the allotment order was released. I scrolled down to my name and found that I was selected into Government Medical College, Tirupur. I ran towards my parents, yelling on top of my voice that I was selected into Government Medical College. My father held me up on my chin and said, "This was the moment you were waiting for. This moment is yours. Enjoy." The joy and happiness those 5 minutes gave me wasn't easy at all. They were just rewards for the one who didn't give up despite circumstances and environmental challenges. No matter what stood in his way, holding on to the belief that showed up lately. Well, I was happy. That is what matters at the end. Whether are you happy with what you have done or will you be happy with what you will be doing in the near future. Finally, as my grade 12 biology teacher once said, "Don't worry, Aasinth, your efforts will never go futile." And so, believe in yourself. Trust the process, don't concentrate on the results, as they shall find their own way.